Good morning, everyone. It's Lee Henson, President and Founder of AgileDad, and it's time for today's episode of the Daily Stand-Up. Without any further ado, let's get started. We made it to Friday, another week in the books. This 2021 has been a strange year because it's going by so slow yet so fast. So I wanted to cover something that's a non-agile, agile-ish related topic like I do every Friday, just something interesting, something that's going to pique you. So I wanted to give you my top 5 psychology laws that you can live by, or rules that'll help you live a much easier life. You always hear me talk about changing people's lives and about doing things to help people. So this is just going to help you bring light into your life and help you have a better understanding of how things are happening around you. So here we go. Coming in at number 1, people don't care as much as you think. Look, we all want to believe that everyone cares about every single thing that's happening. It sounds harsh, but it's true. When you're caught up so much in what others think of us, or we're trying to act in a way that we think will please others or meet other people's expectations, it becomes detrimental to us because we're wrapped up so deeply in what other people think that we don't even see our own problems and insecurities. It's better for you to try to focus on building yourself than to become enveloped in what you believe other people care or think about you. While it's important for you to give off a positive perception, don't get me wrong, and first impressions mean the world, you also don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're just so enveloped in what other people think that you're missing the whole point of what you're trying to do to make your life better. Number 2, we're constantly changing who we are. I think this is another tough one to live with. We all want to be the person we were in college or in high school. I want to have that figure. I want to have that mindset. I wish I was back there so I could change things in my past. But the truth is we're not. Or we can say we're going to be somebody that we think we're going to be in 10 years, but that's not true either. Our past, present, and future selves are all completely independent. Because our mindsets change and our life circumstances change when we make decisions and we make critical choices about things and the path that we're going to take in life. Each new circumstance and experience is something that we build on, and it's going to help us formulate who we are and who we want to be. So it's going to help guide us. As long as we're always true to who we presently are and we're not constantly focused on what everybody thinks that we should be, then it's going to help us be more powerful and have a better life. Number 3, one of my favorites, stop comparing yourself to others. It's so easy for us to compare our life to somebody else's life instead of living out our life and doing the things we need to do, especially with social media. Social media blows my mind. It's when people come in and they say, oh, well, I wish I could be like this person. Or I wish I could have these things. Oh my goodness. People always tend to show their best side on social media, but they never show who they really are. You miss out on some of the vulnerability of who people really are. And people oftentimes are doing this out of fear of being judged or rejected, but it's important for us to live up to who we really are and to live our true life. The truth is every single one of us is vulnerable. There, I said it. We all want to be accepted by others. We all believe that, we have improvement. It's a huge waste of time to believe that everybody's better than we are and trying to get our own life sorted out because of it. We need to live our life in a way that's pleasing unto us and in a way that helps us feel uplifted. Number 4, don't assume your advice will ever be listened to. This is such a good one. I can't tell you how many times, if you've never watched a video, it's not about the nail. You need to go watch that video because sometimes it is about the nail. But when you have this advice and you're trying to sort things out, you often give advice and you feel like your advice falls on deaf ears. The same thing's happening when, in reverse as well. You need to be mindful when people give you advice that you're taking that advice into consideration and that you're framing yourself in such a way that you're making yourself a better person. But at the end of the day, people will only change their minds or their outlooks through their own relationships and through their own realizations and through their own experiences. It's not your responsibility to try to change them. So I think sometimes we go through and we feel like, our advice is going to be the best advice and it's going to be listened to. As an Agile coach, I can tell you, I give advice all day, every day. And probably about 30 to 40% of the time it's listened to. I know that sounds crazy. And it's not because my advice is bad. It's just because people want to do it on their own terms and at their own times. Don't feel ignored or disheartened. Just know that your advice is valuable, but it may not be time for them. And my last and favorite is number 5. You can only control your responses. It's easy to say your attitude determines your direction, but how you react to a problem, event or a situation is way more important than the situation itself. In life, we're going to have so many things thrown at us, and it's easy to say we're going to try overall to be happy, but you can choose to react in a way that's going to ricochet and cause things to happen that fail your future thoughts and that cause negativity in your situation. You need to be aware of what's happening, and you need to make sure that you have a good understanding of how you can leverage the positivity in your life and control the things that happen. I remember with my kids, a lot of times they say, this person made me angry, or this person made me feel this way. I'm like, nobody made you feel that way. You chose to feel that way. You made a conscious decision to feel or to react the way that you did. So I think that one of the things that's going to help us grow is to make sure that we understand how we can control our own emotional and physical responses to situations that we're faced with. So give you the rundown one more time. 5, only you can control your responses to the things that are happening in your life. So take control of those responses. Number 4, don't assume that your advice will ever be listened to. If you go in without that assumption, when people do take your advice, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Number 3, stop comparing yourself to others. Just because someone's social media journey says that they're a multimillionaire, living the best life, and every day is, cheese and wine, it doesn't mean it's really that way. Live your best life. Stop comparing yourself to others. Do the things that you need to do to uplift yourself. Number 2, we're constantly changing who we are. Don't try to lock in who you are based on your past, your present, or your future. Know that you're an ever-changing being and that you're loved, and that one of the things that make you better than what you think you are is the fact that you change. And finally, at number 1, this is the big one. People don't care as much as you think. You often do things and base your decisions on other people's emotions or on other people's context. You can't do that. People really don't care as much as you think. People just want to live their best lives, and you should want to live your easier life. That's going to do it for this Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next week, do take care and have a good weekend. Make it the best. We'll see you next week.